And we are live.
Woo!
Fantastic. A different time than we usually go live.
I know. This is a bit, I don't know. I feel really like a different person doing a live at this time.
Yeah, it feels new. It feels new. So anyone who joins us, then you know that they are the real fans. Yeah, the hardcore fans. So as you can kind of see from the title, it's I wanted to kind of speak today about YouTube. We've got Vina on, so it's a perfect opportunity to kind of talk all things YouTube. And probably one of the most important things about creating a YouTube channel, starting something, is performing keyword research. So we've got about 20 minutes to half an hour here, and then we're going to jump over to Vina's channel, where we're going to be speaking about video ideas or video channels that you can create without having to show your face as well. So that's going to be a really good one. I've got the link in the description as well. So if you're watching this live or after the live, make sure when you finish watching this, you jump over to that video next as well, because we're going to be giving some really great value there too. So yeah, Vina, just for the few people who maybe they haven't seen us live before, do you want to give a little intro into what you do and who you are?
Yeah, well, firstly, actually, this is the marketing after party. So every first Friday of the month, I'm echoing.
Yep, that might be my mic. Let me turn mine down.
Okay, sorry, we should do live live testing here on Sam's.
Some live testing. Maybe put some headphones in.
Completely out of this is a good live video tip. I actually bought one of those headsets, you know, like a call center. You've got your headphones because then it won't have that issue. But yeah, I've just recorded the review of it, and yeah, it wasn't a good one, so I need to send that one back and buy an upgraded one. And it kind of proves the point of don't scrimp on audio quality, because imagine if like we didn't notice and I'm echoing throughout the whole thing or whatever it is. So anyway, that was a side point there, but it is really important because even with what we're talking about today, because you might follow all these tips me and Sam are going to give, and your video still may not do well, because YouTube isn't just about keyword research. It's about having a good enough, it doesn't have to be super slick, but having a good enough picture quality, having really crisp, good, I actually think audio is better than the visual, even though it's YouTube. Yeah, it's because it makes such a difference. Like I can put up with, and I think most people can put up with a really grainy picture, but if you can't hear someone, you switch off straight away, because like, what's the point? You can't hear them. So yeah. And to Sam's question, my name is Vina. That was a long explanation.
A long intro, but we love it.
I gave the information first and I was like, oh yeah, by the way, so I'm Vina. I'm a qualified hypnotherapist, and I help people achieve unstoppable confidence in all areas of their life. But my YouTube channel is about how to instill confidence, specifically on social media and YouTube. And me and Sam have been collabing for, I think it's been like 4 years now.
Roughly 4 years. Yeah, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit over.
So we're the OG collaboration.
This is a special collaboration. Hello to everybody who is joining us live. I can't remember if we've actually had this conversation. We probably have in passing. But my question to you is, how do you go about performing keyword research, and how do you, especially when you were starting, because now obviously we've both surpassed 10,000 subscribers, and that kind of helps us in our businesses in many different ways. But how do you kind of like figure out what video to go for, and then doing the keyword research after that?
So for many years, I don't think I did keyword research. I think I was using the Google keyword planner, and anyone can create a free account for that. So I think I was using that really to get ideas. I don't think I was paying attention to the competition of keywords, how many people were searching for it. And actually, the video that kind of started bringing in the most subscribers for me, it actually was, I don't think it even came up in the Google keyword planner because no one was searching for it, which again kind of proves the point that maybe if there's not enough data on something, especially in or this is a tip that some people give, and I don't agree with it because the reverse happened to me. So some people will say, if you want to do an idea, look what is on YouTube already. And if there's no video about it, don't make that video. And I actually believe the opposite. I believe if there isn't a video on it, then make that video. And like I said, I think it was like on a camera. Now there's probably thousands of videos reviewing this specific, it's like an old camera, like 5 years ago. But no one had made a video on it. And that was the video that started to really rake in the views and subscribers to the point where I used to upload like one video, have a break for 6 months, upload another one. So it was that stage. And because of that video, I was like, oh, people like, what is this subscribing thing? Like, why are people subscribing? So, yeah, I suppose the first step in terms of doing keyword research is, I think the Google Keyword Planner is a great way to get ideas of what videos you should be making.
Yeah, I agree. I use the Google Keyword Planner tool as well. And especially when I was first starting out on YouTube, I was heavily using the Google Keyword Planner tool. It's a free tool to use. And it just makes sense because obviously YouTube is owned by Google. So having that data from Google, obviously there's loads of paid tools and stuff like that. And sometimes I get criticized for using some of the free tools by other marketers, but I'm like, well, it's by Google, so why would you not? And it kind of helped to really skyrocket my my channel at first as well. But it's interesting what you say there about like, well, firstly, people saying if there's not a video on that topic, don't create a video, which makes no sense to me whatsoever, because I'm all about finding the gap in the market sometimes. And like I've definitely found some little mini niches that either no one or very few people have created videos on. And because I'm creating those videos, the kind of comments you get is, oh, wow, I've been searching for this kind of video. And, you know, you're the only one who's done it. So, but that being said, you can look at like other channels for inspiration as well, and other videos on, it might not be on the exact topic, but on a similar topic, so on and so forth. Are there any other tools that or thought processes that you go through when you're kind of like deciding on a video topic?
So so on that vibe of the free tools, and everyone's got access to this. You don't have to sign up for it, but the YouTube search bar has so much information in there that, again, I don't think enough people realize. So I still do this to this day. Like even the video we're doing on my channel a bit after this one, I went on the YouTube search bar. I used TubeBuddy again, which we'll talk about in a sec, but I also went on the YouTube search bar to see, okay, what videos are people making? What's the most popular videos? And all you've got to do is go on the YouTube search bar and start typing your idea in. So say if it was Instagram tips for beginners. So literally type into the YouTube search bar, Instagram tips for, and then what will happen is YouTube will come up with like 10 suggestions, but those 10 suggestions are the 10 most searched for things for that. So it might say Instagram tips for beginners, Instagram tips for business, Instagram tips for kids, whatever it is. But that's how you can start narrowing down your idea, because especially like even with me and Sam's channel, if we were to do a video just called Instagram tips, it is very, very unlikely that we are going to rank for that because we're going up against the big guys there. But if we do a video, Instagram tips for beginners 2021, we are much more likely to get some traction that way. So yeah, that's another great tip when you're going on this journey of, again, finding ideas, but finding what to actually name your video. That's a great way. I don't know if you do you do that as well?
Amazing. Yeah, two fantastic tips there. And for anyone watching this who is thinking about creating a channel for their business or for any other purpose, like those are literally the exact same things that I do as well.
Yeah.
So we've both built our channels off basically using the same keyword principles, which is go into YouTube, start typing in the video idea, and then see what suggestions come up.
Yeah.
But then what I do is sometimes I click on one of the suggestions and then I press the space bar and it gives me new suggestions. So let's say I was doing a video on SEO for beginners, and one of the suggestions was SEO for beginners tips. Then I would click on that and type that into the space bar, and it'll give me new suggestions, SEO for beginners, tips to rank in Google or something like that. So the more, like you're speaking about, like not having a short tail keyword, not having like Instagram
tips, I have a long tail,
but having a longer title, more in-depth, more detail, and you're competing with less people in YouTube in that way, and also you're a lot more likely to rank. In terms of now, like kind of getting into the details of where do we put these keywords, like where should they show up, and is there anything else we can do to make sure that we start ranking in YouTube?
Yeah, I think a lot of people now are becoming more savvy to these tips. I think majority of people know it, but they may not still be doing it. So once you've got that long tail word keyword thing, you put that in the title of your video. So again, going back to that Instagram tips, it'll be like Instagram tips for beginners 2021. That is the title of your video. You can then add in some other stuff just to make people remember. With YouTube, it's all about the click. That doesn't mean you do some extreme clickbait, but clickbait can actually be a good thing, because you might call the video Instagram tips for beginners 2021. Every beginner must watch this. Now, it's not really a clickbait title, but if I was to see that, I'd be like, oh, I'm a beginner to Instagram. I need to watch that video. So it's being really clever with your title by putting the keyword in there, but then by putting something else onto it that gives it more of that human element of, oh, I need to watch this, or there's some kind of urgency or curiosity about that. And I feel I'm still working on that, because I think it's easy to put the keyword in there, but then it's getting that, oh, how can you kind of intrigue people a bit more to actually click? Because remember, your video, even though, yes, you might rank on the first page of YouTube for that word, so for that keyword phrase, you're still competing with everyone else in terms of, are they going to click on your video? And even once they click on it, are you giving them value straight away? Like, don't talk for 10 minutes about how your life was, even though it might be interesting. Unfortunately, like nobody cares. Nobody cares. So what I tend to do now is I will give the value straight away. And then I actually mention who I am usually at the end of my video. So I used to do it right at the beginning. Sometimes I still do, but very like 2 seconds. Hi, I'm Vina V, qualified therapist, bang, like done. Then get into the video. But yeah, more and more now I'm starting to actually introduce myself at the end of the video, especially with, as you know, Sam, I do a lot of tutorials on my channel. And for the tutorials, people don't want to know who I am, what I do, all this stuff. They just want to know how to set up an Instagram page, and that's it.
Interesting.
But it is different. Like if you're doing a vlog, then it's different. Like there's different kind of rules, as it were, for different kinds of content. But for my content specifically, it's you get straight to the point as soon as possible.
So that kind of leads into a couple of questions. If anyone has questions watching live, then do you feel free to drop them as well. But my question is to do with watch time, and it's kind of like a buzzword, and it's a buzzword rightly so, because it's a really important metric both to YouTube, but I think even if it wasn't important to YouTube, it's something that should have been important to us anyway. Yeah. Is how much of your video is someone watching, and that can actually impact how well you rank in YouTube search as well. So what do you know about watch time, and how do you ensure that your watch time is as good as it can be? Yeah,
so in terms of watch time, so I used to be one of those people that I thought I was doing short intros, but actually when I look back, I was like, Vina, that you still talked for about a minute and you didn't need to. So one of my things to increase my watch time is, like I said, is just getting straight to the point and not, I used to also have a spoken intro in terms of, I would say like, oh, how has your day been? I've done that kind of thing. But then I would also have like a visual thing that went on. I think no joke, I'm embarrassed to say, I think it was like a 30-second long thing, like a jingle. And I thought, I don't need to, like, why did I do that? I probably did get away with it before, because me and Sam have been on YouTube for years. So when there was less people creating content, I think I did get away with it then. But if I was to do it now, people would be like, what is this? They would just click off. So my biggest tip when it comes to watch time is, whatever your video is about, like, get to the point. Even if you are doing a vlog, like, you've got to, again, that word's coming up again, intrigue the viewer. So if there's something really interesting that happened in the 26th minute of your video, put that in as a teaser at the beginning, and people be like, oh my God, like, why are they shocked about something or whatever it is? So put like a really quick 10-second thing and you're setting up your video. So then you keep, and I've done that, not as the creator, but I've done that as a viewer, where I watch someone's vlog and it'll be like, oh my God, I can't believe that happened. And then it cut. And then they're just going like, oh, hi, I'm Sam Day. Like, welcome to my vlog. But I keep watching because I'm like, I want to find out like what's going on. Yeah,
that's a really good tip. I've seen that from other channels as well. I've done that as well in some of my content. I'm trying to do that more. I feel like it's a good intro to kind of like give people it's kind of like doing a mini trailer of what the video is going to be about.
Exactly.
It's a little EastEnders cliffhanger. You might even want to add the duffs in there.
Oh, we should do that. What did you say, Sam?
That would be so funny. So Boomerang MLS is asking, how do I get to 1K subscribers? Vina, you speak about this quite a lot on your channel, right?
Yeah, so over on my channel, I do a lot of tips for beginners. So, was it Boomerang? Is it Boomerang? Oh, it's on the screen.
Boomerang MLS.
Boomerang. Make sure you come over to our channel in about 10 minutes time, because we're going to, again, give more tips for kind of new YouTubers. But I think a lot of these tips we're giving will help you get to that 1K. It's all about, are you making searchable content? And really looking again at we've talked about it, like your titles, because if you're labeling your video untitled 1, 2, 3, like no one's gonna find it, and then no one's gonna click on it, because it's just like, well, what is this video about? Like, what's in it? Or I always have in my mind, what's in it for the viewer? Like, why would they want to click on it? What value are they gonna get? And then you've got to match that value. You've got to match the title with the content. So if the title again is how to make the most amazing Victoria sponge cake, but then you're talking about cupcakes, they're going to be like, well, they're just going to click off. And again, that's the thing with watch time. You're going to get such a low watch time. And even though that video may be amazing in terms of making cupcakes, why did you call it Victoria sponge? So there's these things as well to really, and they seem like really simple little things, but it's about getting those foundations and basics right.
No, I think it's good tips. And even what you're saying there, everything that we're saying, it will help you to get to the next milestone in YouTube. Yeah. So like there's no, I don't feel like there's a secret sauce to get from 0 to 1,000 or to get from 1,000 to 10,000 or 10,000 to 100,000. It's the same thing, but just on a different level. So all of the same tips, really, wherever you're at, whether you're at 1K or 10K or 100K, like I feel like the strategy is more or less the same. Obviously, the more video you create, the better you become at creating video.
Yeah.
So when you're at 10K, you're probably making a lot better videos. Like even Vina, you were speaking about like some of the things that you took out of your videos and made them better and improved. And a lot of the stuff that we do now is just because of the experience that we have in terms of creating content. But essentially, you know, you need to have searchable content. And the next question is how to make searchable content, how to get the most search keywords in my country.
So it's kind of taking everything that we've already talked about. It's getting those key. So searchable content is putting keywords into your title, description, and tags, but also saying that keyword in the video as well. So again, going back to that example of Instagram tips for beginners 2021, you want to be saying that in your video as well, because YouTube are actually using what you're saying to rank your video too. And I'm guilty of not doing this, but this is a best practice. You really should be uploading your transcript to YouTube. And I don't do that. When YouTube are you can turn on the captions of videos. So sometimes I'll watch one of my videos back and then YouTube thinks I've said a word and it's something like completely I've said something completely different. So that can be a really good tip as well, because you've got to give YouTube as much information as possible on what your video is about. It's like just see it as a game, because you need to be feeding the YouTube machine with as much information as possible. You want to be making the best content, because YouTube will help you. If you deliver on your title and a good thumbnail and all that other stuff, and YouTube can see people are clicking on your video, they're going to then push that video out to more and more people. And if you're not delivering on those things, and as me and Sam both know, there's lots of different factors anyway. I think I'm going to get this figure wrong, but there's so many millions of factors, millions, not hundreds, not thousands, millions of factors that YouTube are taking into account every time that we upload a video, and their decision on whether or not, they're going to push that video out or not.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. And I think even the Google Keyword Planner tool we were speaking about, you can actually change what country you search for. So in terms of the second part of the question, you can use the Google Keyword Planner tool and just select your country, and it will tell you how many people are searching for a particular keyword in your country. I also speak about the free website called answerthepublic.com. I don't know if you've ever used that, Vina.
I think I went on there once.
Yeah.
It's really good website.
It's really good. So you just type in whatever keyword is your main keyword. And I recommend when you're doing keyword research is to type in like a more competitive keyword. So like a short tail. So like for example, the Instagram tips that we were saying, okay, it's going to be hard to rank for that because it's such a competitive term. But when you're doing your keyword research, you want to search using those competitive terms, and then the tool will give you the more longer in-depth keywords. Sorry. So if you type that into answerthepublic.com, it will give you all of these suggestions, like so many suggestions on and they're mainly long tail keywords, and they're mainly just questions as well. So they're not just keywords, but they're actual questions, a lot of them, that you can create a lot of content around, either blog content or YouTube content. And then of course you can kind of take the keyword, search it in YouTube, and then do that thing that Vina was talking about, is look at the suggested. We've only got a couple of minutes before we jump over to Vina's. Any last minute tips in terms of people who might be struggling on YouTube, struggling to grow, that you might have to give away for us?
Again, it's using, we're actually really fortunate right now because there's so much stuff you can do for free and you don't have to pay for it. So we've already mentioned the Google Keyword Planner, the YouTube search bar, and then there's also 2 tools that you also should be downloading, and they're free as well. They both have paid versions that give you access to more kind of analytical stuff and other cool features, but the free version can work really well. So TubeBuddy and vidIQ.
vidIQ.
LQ. I always get that. I said vidLQ for years, and then I realized, it's IQ. So TubeBuddy and vidIQ, they can really help you as well. And all this stuff that me and Sam have been saying. So you've got your keyword now. You're like, yes, I think this is the one. Put that then into TubeBuddy, and TubeBuddy will give it a score out of 100 which is specific to your channel. So sometimes I've done a video and I'm like, yeah, this is going to be great. But then in TubeBuddy, it will give it like 10 out of 100. I'm like, oh, is that not a good idea? So that will really help you as well. Again, if you really want to make the video, just do it anyway, regardless of that TubeBuddy score. Because sometimes, again, with any tools, they're not 100% right. So again, TubeBuddy are great and they have lots of information they can give you, but don't get too caught up. Unless the video is like 0 out of 100, like don't do it. But if it's like 20, or maybe 20 is still a bit low, but maybe 30 or above, and the score, this will make sense what I'm saying once you download TubeBuddy, but 30 or above, like just do it. And they again help you with the keyword process and giving you ideas and helping you with the tags. So yeah, those 2 tools, I think.
Awesome. Do you have any TubeBuddy or vidIQ tutorials on your channel?
No, but I should do one, shouldn't I, Sam?
Well, guys, if you're watching this, make sure you subscribe to Vina for when those come out. And I will definitely watch those as well, because I use TubeBuddy. I used to use TubeBuddy, but I stopped. So yeah, I definitely need to watch those as well.
Yeah, but maybe I'll do a comparison between because I'm on I've actually got the Legend subscription. Oh, wow. So I can do a maybe comparison between what are the differences between the price plans as well.
Sounds good. Sounds good. I will definitely be watching. Thank you, Vina, for joining us, and everybody who joined us live as well at this new time. And for those who are watching after the live, thank you for watching as well. Do leave your comments in the comment section. Make sure you head over to Vina's channel, link in the description to my video with her that we're going to go and do now. So literally, if you're watching live, click the link now. Make sure you join us and subscribe to Vina as well. And yeah, we'll be together. Well, we plan to be together live on the first Friday of every month. So yeah, you'll get another.
I quite like. We might change the time. I quite like doing it at this time. We'll talk.
It's
about
a good
that.
time. Yeah, it's a good time. It's something we might have to discuss. But yeah, until next time, guys. I'll see you over on Vina's channel. Take it easy.